So I'm gonna start from the very beginning. Let me just do this much more comfortable. Okay, so from the get-go, I've been using Rain now for like a month or so, and so far I honestly think he's a great character. He controls good spacing, he's got good rushdown potential, etc, etc. Now as you may notice that the way how I highlighted the following strings, as you can see them there, the X, etc. So when I pick up a new character, right, whenever I pick up any new character, I start with labeling out all the ones and all the twos and all the threes, etc, etc. And then yeah, that's how I get used to remembering it. Alright, so cool. So we know that he has a 7 frame 1, his back one is a mid. Let's just do this quickly. His back one is a mid. It's not the best stagger, to be honest, but it's there nevertheless. 7 frame down one, which is good. Yeah, and yeah, so that's the nitty-gritty. So there's nothing really special about those things, unless of course if we're talking like, you know, you get your hit advantage. If you land that, you +7, then potentially they will end up blocking, you know, like that, and then just check them like that, whatever the case, if you somehow drop a combo just like that. Anyway, so your back one +9 on hit advantage. So at this distance, if you somehow just land this, you are guaranteed the back 3, right? Because at that spacing you are +9 and your back 3 is 13 frames. So 13 minus 9, you guys do the math. That's how much hit advantage that you have. So your opponent cannot actually do anything basically, right? Cool. So yeah, let's see. Down one. All right. So the 1-3 string, right? It's just, so the 1-3 string, it's a very good stagger. I think it's like his second best stagger, to be honest, because I mean this you see the full string, there's a high at the end. So if I set him to, you see, he can duck the last hit. So the mind game obviously now is, if the opponent is trying to duck, he will get hit by the 1, 3, 4, which is the overhead, right? So if he's, yeah, like I said, if he's hold that stance, sorry, hold on, let's see. Okay, so obviously if the opponent is trying to duck the high, as you can see, he's neutral ducking, so the overhead is there. Okay, so if he's trying to duck the high, then you will definitely get clipped by this. Cool. So that's like the nitty-gritty of that particular string. What's going on in the chat here? You two are going at it here. Nah, bruh, Citron is already S-tier. She don't need no buffs. I don't want to get into that debate. Okay, cool. Anyway, let's see. Now, however, this string has flawless block gap. So if you look carefully, hold on, yeah, cool. So the overhead has a flawless block gap, but what people don't know is that you can flawless block the high as well, even though it doesn't show like I'm doing right now. You see, you can flawless block the overhead, but if I set him to do the high, right? So you see, so the trick here is you have a 3 frame difference, and what that is, it takes 16 frames for the overhead. Okay, never mind the 1-3, never mind this string, right? So the overhead 30, it's 16 frames, right? Now if you take the high, that's 13 frames. So there's literally a 3 frame difference that you can fuzzy guard like that. Cool. Hello Mr. Cheddar, how's it going, sir? Thank you for tuning into the stream. Alright, cool. So basically, like I explained, you can actually fuzzy guard this, and you can literally block both options. Like you can do that, alright, and then you can obviously Oops, my bad. Hold up. Ugh. Oh no. I got it now. There we go. Okay, so you kind of just have to let go of block for a split second. And you know you can convert from that and whatever the case. So now that's the offense right now on the defense, not really defense but strategical side, right? What's your go-to startup to apply pressure? Alright, I will get to all of that. Just give me a second. I'll get to everything. Yeah, so you see the thing is I'm gonna go from, I'm currently just explaining the 1-3-4 strategy behind it. So basically people will just randomly throw this out, okay, as if it's like the only option when it's not. So reason why I say that is because if you look at my variations, right, if you do, listen carefully, if you do not have Hydroplane, Edenian Force and Geyser Bomb as your variation, then you really don't know what you're doing with Rain. I'm gonna be straight with you. All his other abilities are good, I'm not gonna lie, but if you wanna guarantee wins against top tiers especially, then this is your go-to, and I'll explain why. I will explain why. So basically with the 1-3, right? So the 1-3 people are gonna want to react. So I'm gonna set Rain, the dummy, right? I'm gonna set him to reversal, right? Right, so at the last frame he's going to react. Okay, so now if I do the 1-3 and people are expecting that as a stagger, this is why I say Hydroplane comes in handy. Do you see? You see that? So that is the mind game. Okay, by the way, voice crisp as fuck. Okay, cool. Thanks so much, man. Okay, cool. So that is why I say Hydroplane is so freaking good. Honestly, it is so freaking good. So you can like get away with shit like this. Okay, I'm obviously just timing it now. You know, if you have to obviously hit confirm with your eye and see if it's moving or anything. And by the time you have conditioned to the point where you know they are not gonna move or anything, then they will just have to block and you can hit confirm like that. Now I've explained this to a few people, right? In this game, in Mortal Kombat 11, it's all about two things: one, time, and space. Now what do I mean by time? Okay, so time is basically what I'm referring to is your frame data, right? What is the fastest move that you can do or execute to get the best out of a certain situation? All right, so what I'm trying to say is if your opponent is now blocking this, right, cool, so their options here as a Rain character, right, so I'm gonna to do exactly this. Cool, I'm gonna set him to do exactly that, and then I'm gonna show you what is the mind game here. Let me just see. Okay, so do you see that? Did you see that? So if I want to try and take my turn against a Rain main, right, obviously my reactions have to be on point. Like if I predict that he's going to do a Hydroplane, obviously, right, and then that type of thing. But obviously I think it will be easier if I do this. So I'm going to hit this. I'm gonna set this, and I'm gonna set this. Hold up, yeah. Cool. So yeah, that's basically what I'm gonna do. So I'm hidden, right? Okay. You see, it's kind of hard to estimate what Rain is gonna do. So I'm looking for the Hydroplane. You see? Okay, so I reacted in time, and there I reacted late, so he will punish me for trying to take my turn. That is why I say Hydro what's it? What is this move called? Hydroplane? Yeah, hydroplane. That's what I say. The mind game behind that is really, really good. So you can make them whiff with the game, because I mean, as a last resort, I would only recommend you finish this string as a last resort. And what I mean by that is, if you don't have defensive bar, don't finish the string. Like on block, on defense. So say for instance, you is blocking. So you got the down one, right? You got the down one in a real fight. You got the down. Now you want to jail. Now you see he's blocking, right? Bah, bah. And then you hit confirm this guy is not moving or doing anything. Back up and give yourself some space, right? So what I do is, if I know my opponent is kind of sleeping and not going to react, right? This is what I would do. Like, okay, let me get this. Okay, hold on, that was terrible. I go in for a shimmy, you know what I mean? Because they won't really expect it. They are expecting the high so that they can duck it, or they're expecting the overhead basically. So this hydroplane is very good. Like I said, if you got the best time and space in this game, you basically win. You know what I mean? So if you got good neutral frame data, etc., and you control a lot of pushback and space and stuff like that, that's a plus for your character, any character for that matter, right? So yeah, I would break it up like this. Go in for a grab, mix up, or shimmy, you know, shimmy 1, 3, and so on and so forth, right? Cool. So basically, like I said, if you are doing this, you see still not moving, now I recommend you do that, but not necessarily, because now you have other mind game. If your opponent is trying, yo, checkmate, I'm imparting the knowledge. Good day, sir. Hello, sir. Good. Dope. Thanks so much for tuning in. So yeah, okay, so say for instance now you are doing this, right? You have no defensive bar. Okay, hold up, let me do this. He's not getting shimmied at all. Sorry, this is what I actually meant to do. So you have no defensive bar, right? Now keeping in mind, this has a flawless block gap. So here's the mind game. I'm gonna try and floor the overhead, right? Now check this. This is the actual mind game behind it. You know, if you're not trying to create space anymore like this, etc., then what you should essentially be doing is okay. So now here's the overhead. I'm recording that. Record number 2. All right. Cool. Right. So number 1. All right. 1. Okay. So now I'm gonna set it to random, like I won't know what the hell is coming, right? So now I'm going to flawless block. Okay. You see? Do you see what's happening? Do you see what's happening? The minute I take my, there we go. You see, the minute I take my finger off the block button, the projectile hits me. You see what I mean? So if you come across a high level player, right, and he's always flawless blocking this, the overhead, right, then your go-to would be the mid projectile. Now notice the spacing, right? Yes, you are -5, but you are not, I won't say it's technically not your turn, so to say, right? Technically you can kind of mash a poke out in this space because you can reach, and your hurt box is not extended. It's similar to, what's it, Gearus's down 3 or down 4 with the sand thing. So basically there's no hurt box on it, so you can kind of mash out of that and whatever. That's obviously if you have them conditioned to stop flawless blocking and they're blocking this now instead, and you can just try and mash that out, but that's totally up to you. It's a risk. You can just either block it or whatever. Sometimes if I know my opponent is sleeping behind the wheel, like really sleeping, and he's conditioned to block this, right, I would do something like, if I can show you guys. Okay. So if he's trying to come in, I would do stuff like that, right? Obviously it depends on what move he uses, because he can use the forward 2 as well. you know, to catch me off guard eventually if he gets used to that. Cool. So if he starts doing the forward 2, right? So if he starts doing the forward 2, then it becomes a totally different mind game. This. Can you just... Okay, he's gonna react, so... Okay, hold on. Okay, so just pretend I'm doing this, right? Because he's not gonna react now on the actual command that I'm trying to do. So basically, let's just say he reacts to this, right? And now what I'm trying to do is mash out here. Okay, so that's obviously because he's answering with these yeah, there we go. That's the point I'm trying to make. You can kind of mash out here if he thinks I'm gonna try and backdash after this because of that spacing. You know what I mean? See what happened? You can get a wolf punish like that, and obviously you have to hit confirm it in this sense. You know what I mean? So yeah, like I said, it is risky, especially if you're playing against characters like Johnny Cage, or not Johnny Cage, sorry, yeah, Johnny Cage with his forward 3 that can reach, Jackie Briggs with a Superman punch, and Liu Kang with his flying kick or whatever. But yeah, so you can, you know, like, you can either block it or whatever the case. But now check here, here's the different mind game. If you condition them to the fact where they are blocking this, right, and they know you are going to backdash, so to say. Now check this. If in this matchup the Rain player would be like trying to do this to counter this, right? So he's gonna do that forward too. Okay, so basically I would do this. So say for instance I did this thing and I'm gonna do the projectile because in my mind this guy is flawless blocking, right? So this is it here. Alright. If I know he's gonna do the forward 2, you see that? If my timing is on point, just there, just because I'm -5, on the block, right? See there, -5, bottom left, block advantage, -5. Just because I'm -5 doesn't mean it's not my turn, so to say. It's risky, but if you know your opponent is sleeping, you can catch them with all kinds of shit like this. Cool. Reason why this is possible is because, like I said, in this game, if you control space in this game, like watch, look how much spacing that is right here, like here, this spacing alone. Check this spacing. Because I amplified and turned my projectile into a mid, right? I could get away with the, yeah, with that to this move, etc. on block, right? Cool. Let me just check the chat. What's your go-to move to take your turn, like your fastest move? Okay, I will get to all of this. I promise I will get to all of it. Just stick around with me, guys. I will get to all of this. I'm reading the YouTube comments, Facebook comments so far. Okay, I will get to everything. Just breaking down the purpose of each string, so to say, right? So like I said, this is your second best stagger, the 1-3. Okay, the 1-3. That's your, I wouldn't finish the string unless I'm totally out. Like this. If he's trying to flawless block, I can try to backdash if he's sleeping and I can get away with it and whatever. Alright, so that is basically the tech for that type of thing. If your opponent is trying to flawless block this, you answer with the meter burn projectile, right? So that's the main go-to there. And obviously the high, I only recommend you use the high during your combos if you're confirming it properly, etc, etc. So yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna move on now. That was quite you know, quite of an explanation, because a lot of these things have mind games and strategies behind this. Just bear with me, guys. There's a lot to take in. Right, so if we get the knockdown, I'm moving on from that. Okay, on the offensive side, you are plus 20. Now, if you don't know your stance switch, right? Your stance switch and your forward dash is about 10 frames, right? So stance switch. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to set him to wake up down 1 or wake up standing 1 or something. Wake up down 1, right? Let's do wake up down since wake is a thing, right? Okay, so he is gonna do it, right? So you plus 20. right? Hit advantage. If you get this knockdown, you are plus 20. So now, because of my stance switch, hold up. You see that? Your stance switch is about 10 frames, right? 10 frames, even with your dash. You see? So this is a 10 frame dash, and then you can always get your meaty, you know what I mean? Cool. Just in case for those that did not know, let's see. Alright, so if you land this string and you don't hit confirm it, you are plus 24. So what you can do is 24, dash in, get your meaty, okay? If you just somehow drop this mid combo. Yeah. And obviously from this distance, you can get that as well, because it's 16 frames and there, and you are like plus 24. That's if you like just randomly drop this combo. I will do this, or I will do this. Okay, cool. Moving on to the next command, right? So the back 1-4. Okay, back 1-4. It's okay. It's okay. It's not that great, but it's a good side switch ender if you in the corner. So like something like this maybe, or better yet, if you somehow just how do I do this now? You see, you can side switch basically. That's all it's really good for. I would sometimes use it as for the hydroplane, just to create some space. Let's see, you know, just to create some space and start zoning, etc. Okay, so let's move on now. Oh, wait, I forgot something. The reason why I highlighted the 1 especially, right, so here's some tips and tricks with regards to this particular string and this. Okay, now pay attention. I'm going to set rain to reversal attack, right? So when he blocks my string, he's going to reversal attack, right? Now just pay close attention to what happens here. This is the standing 1 is a mind game on its own. So say for instance you in a match and you get a down 1, you try to jail the standing 1, right? That is like your check type of thing. Okay, what I mean by this, check. So in a real match you get the down 1, you block, right? I mean he blocks, you checking him if he's gonna block, and you are -3. Now if you are low negative in a game like this, but that is a mind game, and I'll tell you why. So here it is. I'm gonna set him to do this on reversal. So at the last possible frame when he is done blocking, right? At the last possible frame when he's done blocking, he's going to react. Okay, so if I get the down 1 in, let's say for example I got the down 1 and now I want to jail, right? Watch here. Do you see that? So for some reason on the second and he tried to press a button in between the second and the third hit. So that tells me as a player, and that's someone that's labbing a new character, that my standing 1 is actually a stagger. And you can hit confirm, right? So essentially what this is, if you catch your opponent with a down 1, check, you go for a grab. That type of thing. Check. Check, and then obviously this game people like to hold down, as you know, like and then you will get them with that, or whatever the case, you know. They obviously, the chances of them blocking, you know, as blocking the hop is, it's a 50-50, but either way it's a mind game nevertheless. So this is a mind game on its own. The stagger, the standing 1 stagger basically. Shit. And then you go for a mix up. Right, now in this situation, right, if you are in this circumstance, so you grab him, right, you are plus 15. all right? So you literally have 10 frames to dash in, keeping in mind, like I explained, your dash is about 10 frames, right? And just to cover that spacing, that you do that, okay? So if you get a forward throw, I recommend you go in and do your forward 4, okay? Right, oops, let me just, yeah. I recommend you do that. The reason being is, now I'm gonna prove to you why that is effective, okay? So you come across a player that wake up jump, right? Let's say you wake up jump like this, okay? Attack, let's just see if he's gonna jump. Okay, so he is gonna jump, right? So now I grab him, cash in. Do you see that? Do you see that? Okay, guys, are you still with me? I know I shared a lot of information thus far. Are you guys still with me? So yeah, that is your go-to. So if you get a forward grab and he tries to jump, okay, I was late there. Alright, okay. You need to be very precise. You see? Every time. And then eventually, when I think if you come across a player that loves to wake up jump, like a lot Kung Lao players, Panda, anyway, but yeah, if you come across a player that loves to wake up jump, he will eventually get the idea on the third wave, like second or the third wave, and then you will just stop jumping, right? Then the mind games, let's just do this quickly. Bah, alright, boom. Okay, now the mind game becomes, okay, now he's thinking to himself, okay, now I know I cannot really jump or anything because this guy's got, yes, still with you. Okay, thank you, Mr. Cheddar. So yeah, so in this instance, now he's conditioned, like, okay, I cannot move because that forward 4 is so strong. It's anti-airing me, it's not giving me a chance to disrespect his turn, etc. Now your mind game becomes this. Okay, snap. Shit, how did I do this now? Let me just do this again. Right. Okay, so say he's conditioned and you are right here. Now your mind game becomes this. On wake up, right? On wake up. If you if you want a meaty on wake up, right? I recommend this. This is why I say hydroplane is the way. Because like I said, if you control space, you win. Basically. Yes, you're giving up a defensive bar and whatever, but it's worth it. It's totally freaking worth it, trust me. Because what I noticed in this game, if compared to breakaway and wake up attacks, your bar builds faster if you cancel it on your own. Slightly. It builds slightly faster, right? Hence why Kung Lao players does that orbiting app, and then you will see next thing you know the one defensive bar is like there already, you know what I mean? So yeah, so like I said, if you are at this range now and this guy's conditioned to block because he cannot escape you from your forward 4, now you go into this and you judge with your eye, hit confirm, hold it and see if he's blocking. Good, now he's blocking, he's conditioned, because he will be so conditioned because he knows that you have a low in case he tries to move. You know what I mean? So let's say he does a jump, right, on reaction. So he's gonna do that on the reaction, right? So right here. So now I'm going to save my current right here, right? So now if he thinks I'm going to do this, okay, do you see what I'm talking? Do you see where I'm getting at? Okay, so boom, you can enter here. Okay, do that properly and da. Okay. Okay, hold up. Okay, let me just see this. Why is he not? Okay, hold on. Why is he not kicking? Okay, hold on. So practice mode does this glitch where it just doesn't do your command. So so the trick behind that is you go in, you go out, and to you. Okay, simple as that. So it does that. I don't know why. Okay, so let's try this now. Sorry, hold on. Still, okay, something is wrong. Something is totally wrong. Let me do this again. Gundam Fighter, that's me. I like jumping. Yes, I know you do, Mr. Gundam Fighter. I know you do. Welcome to the stream, by the way. Thanks for tuning, and I highly appreciate it. Okay, I'm trying to set him to do like a jump. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Okay, for some reason he is not budging. Okay, let me reset the practice mode settings just by going to fight to select. Just bear with me, guys. These things do happen. This is what the practice mechanics. For some reason, it just glitches out where it just doesn't work sometimes. That's what happens when you're in practice session like me for like an hour or 2 hours, whatever. Most of the time I spend on this game is just labbing situations and things like this. So yeah, continuing further. Okay, so we're still in the same situation. Let's try to budge now. Okay, hold on. He's still not doing it. Why not? Okay. Okay, I don't know what's going on, guys. But anyway, let's say, like I said, now he's trying to jump away, right? You can get away with a combo like that. Cool. Taking all this info in. Alright, cool, no problem, Mr. Cheddar. I don't mind sharing. I really don't mind sharing. Yeah, so basically, here's the mind game. If he tries to jump, right? You know, you can even do that if you predict the jump. Even on wake up. Let's see. If in this situation, like coming from this mind game, right? I hope you guys are still following me. But yeah, so you go in with that, and now he's gonna wake up jump, right? You can, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. So, boom. And then from that distance, I would recommend you just, oh, you know, sorry. Boom, boom. Da. You see? So now you got this. He's trying to jump. Oh my word. He's trying to wake up jump. Boom. Sorry. Obviously, you can hit confirm this and whatever. But if you are unsure and then you just want to do this, zone. You see, he cannot do jack. He can't jump. He has to block. He has to respect the turn, basically. Right. It's just a pity that I cannot show you now what I was trying to do with this reverse jump in kick, right? Okay. I want him, and then I want him to react with the kick. I don't know why he's not kicking, but anyway, you get the idea. You get the idea. You can anti-air them, or you go in, and let's say he's conditioned by now. Mr. Gundam, I'm sure you're familiar with that shimmy, because you always get shimmied by this. Only playing, bro. So yeah, it becomes a throw mind game. It becomes a shimmy mind game, you know, and whatever the case. Right, so imagine he jumps and you catch him with that special anti-insane. Yeah, that's why I say your reactions needs to be on point, like heavily on point. So yeah, you can it is possible, or you can just do standing one or whatever the case, right? Cool. So how did I get to this? It was the throw mind game, right? Yeah. Okay. So, alright, yeah, like I said, the standing one, going back to my first point when I started, right? So your standing one is a mind game on its own. Boom. Like if he's gonna react, yeah, like I'm gonna react with the see, he's gonna react. Okay, so he tried to take his turn, so it goes into standing one. Boom. Oh wait, even be creative like this. Like, hold on. Okay, let's see. You see what I mean? That type of thing. And if he tries, maybe tries to react with this. Hold on. Shit. Okay. So, let's see. Okay, there we go. And then you get your combo. He lost 25% for getting work punished because he expected a throw and he tried to counter it. You know what I mean? So, and then it becomes a poke mind game as well. Boom. You can even do this. You know? And then you can even do, if I'm fast enough. I don't think I can. Okay, no, it's not because he's advancing. Okay, cool. But I was trying to get this crushing blow, that mind game. But anyway, you get the idea with the standing one, right? So standing one is a mind game on its own. Right, moving on to the twos, right? Take note of how I am labeling these things, right? Nobody, checkmate, it's a mind game. Yeah, bruh, everything's a mind game in this game. Everything's a mind game. You just need to be creative, that's all. Yeah, take note of how I am labeling this stuff. Okay, wait, let's do this first. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, okay, I think that's correct. Okay, standing 2 on hit. If you get this, you can jail this. I think I played last night against Gundam Fighter, who is in the chat right now on YouTube. He just refused to block, and I just kept doing this to get to the point where he eventually started blocking, and then I just went for a grab. You know, that type of thing. Obviously you can jail it, you know, because you are plus 13, right? You are plus 13 on your down 1, and the reason why I'm talking about down 1 and down 3s is because you can jail off the shit. Like, I'm gonna set him to duck. Please guys, take note of this, take note of this. People don't know how to work on their jailing, especially in this game. So at this distance I can, let me see, it's a secret. Yeah, so at this distance, right? At this distance I can jail. So he is set to duck. Watch, after down 1 he ducks, right? So at this distance, if I get a down 3, I can jail him for that. If he decides to try and jump out of this poke, if he tries to jump, if he tries to mash down 2, cool, you just dash in and get all that. Alright, get all of that damage. Give me that. Okay, cool. So yeah, and then down 1 you can jail this shit. It's 9 frames, right? So it's very good. Very good for wolf punishing as well. Now on the offensive side, if I... oh shit, hold on. If I do a down 1 and he blocks, I would turn this into a stagger. I would legit turn this into a stagger. Now, some of you asked me, how do you know the difference of... how do you know what is a stagger and what is not a stagger? So, that is... somebody asked me that a while ago. And this is an easy answer, right? As you know, like I explained, this is -3, right? On block, the standing one, okay? If you have any string or any attack that has -3 and lower, right? So if you have -3, -2, -1, and you are like this close to your opponent and he's blocking, that is a stagger. But most importantly, if you have, just look at my recovery on the standing one, okay? Look at the recovery, it's 18 frames. 18 frames is like very good, right? So anything below, I would say, anything, or the recovery frames, if you have a move or a string that has a recovery frame below 22 frames, that is a stagger. Alright, if it goes above 23 up to 25, then it's not really much of a good stagger. Not that much, okay? Like this one is not really much of a good stagger, so to say. But I'll get to that one soon. I'll explain everything, guys. This is gonna be your ultimate guide, okay? So you can share this with your friends, family, your aunties, your grandmas, your uncles, children, and so on and so forth, right? Cool, yes. Alright, cool. Alright, glad you guys are still with me. Where was I? Oh yeah, so basically, let's see, where is it now? What was I doing again? Oh yeah, so to determine what a stagger is within your arsenal, it's always going to be a number below 22 on recovery, and obviously if it has a very low negative, like -3 or -2, -1, those are your go-to staggers. That's how you determine what is your staggers and whatever. Some staggers like Cetrion, my word, if you do standing 1 and repeat, is like +1 or +2. That is obviously a stagger, you know what I mean? Like Johnny Cage is standing 1 and standing 2, those are staggers. So those are staggers in a sense of shimming. Like you'll do standing 1 and then you'll do standing 1, right? You'll do standing 1, and if you are plus on your standing 1, and then you'll do shit like this, expecting them to get shimmied, you know what I mean, and then boom, turn it into a mind game of throw, boom, boom, overhead, you know, they won't see it coming, and then do shit like that where you fake it and then they open up on a low. Goddamn. Anyway, but anyway, yeah, so basically there's a lot to take in from this, guys. I know it's a lot, but I'm very passionate about this game, so I spend a lot of time learning it. Okay, so let's move on, shall we? He's back to somebody followed me on Twitter, sorry guys. Okay, he's back to, let's see. Alright, so back to, if you get it on hit, you are plus 10. If you somehow just drop this in the middle of a fight, if you just drop this, just know you are plus 10 here. Right, so what I mean by that is you have options. You can do this, you're forward 2. So basically if you do that and you drop it by accident, you just remember you are plus 10. So if you say now and you answer, and now your next move is you want to go forward 2, which is 15 frames. So now you say to yourself 10 hit advantage, alright, and you're 15 frames. So now you're gonna say 15 minus 10, right, which means this move comes out at 5 frames now. And I can prove that to you if your opponent wants to jump, perhaps like this. Okay, or better yet, let me do it. So like that, you see, I'm going to get hit, you know what I mean, it's guaranteed I'm gonna get hit. You see what I mean? Even if you drop this and then I try to jump, I would go for that, to be honest with you, just in case they try to jump, because that is 11 frames. So you are plus 10 after dropping the back 2, and you get that forward 2. So he has literally 1 frame to react to. Basically that type of thing, right? But yeah, moving on. He's down to not really great. I mean, if you look carefully, right? If you look carefully, hold on. Can you see how I'm kind of touching his fingers? See how I'm touching his fingers? The hurt box. Wait, I remember that. Yeah, Mr. Gundam. Yeah. Yeah. So the hurt box. Oh, sorry, not the hit box of his down 2 is not great because I am technically touching his fingers. Did you see that? You see that? I'm technically touching his fingers. It's not that good. This down 2 sucks. It's ass. So I wouldn't recommend it as if your opponent is doing shit like this. You see that? In a real match, I would have probably gotten. You see? Whoa. Okay. Oh, okay. I think I know why that's connecting, because Rain's jump kick, this kick, it extends his hurt box, alright? But if you come across characters like Cabal and, you know, those type of, you know, with small hurt boxes and stuff like that, they will freaking get away with shit like that. So Rain's down 2 is not that great. Right, let's see. Let's move on to, let me just break this up for you guys, just to get my head wrapped properly, yeah? Okay, so now we add this string, the Deadly Tsunami. Alright, that is the 2-4-2. Now everybody hates this string. As a Rain player, if you like this string, then there's something wrong with you. To be honest with you, I actually hate it because it's a dial string, which means you have to input all 3 buttons, the YBY, so 2-4-2 in other words. You have to input all of those to you know, let the full string come out. However, nevertheless, so the full string is the grab. So this is your ender, essentially, right? So if you get a combo, just for instance, right? Cool, right? That is cool. Boom. So if you drop this, like if you somehow just drop this on a random day, you are plus 5, right? Hit advantage says there plus 5. If you drop it, like if you don't input the in throw thing, yeah, the ending, the throw inputs, so you plus 5, all you can really do is go for a poke like that, alright, because it's 10 frames and look at that spacing, right? So if you drop this, boom, you can just do that, alright? That's all you can really do. Or since you are plus 5, you can go for your back 2. Yeah, your back 2 1, because it is 10 frames and you will be plus 5. So this frame comes out at 5 frames. This move comes out at 5 frames now and not 10. Alright, moving on. This string really that great. Okay, I don't think it's that great here. Hold on. Okay, it's not really a mix-up, so to say. I would use this randomly when I'm bored and I just think to myself, oh, I forgot I have this, you might just get hit by it, you know, that type of thing. This is like a throwaway string. I honestly don't see the point, because I mean, what's the point of having a low at the end if you don't have a mind game that gives you access to make an overhead mix-up, you know what I mean? So that string is kind of useless in my opinion, unless of course because of this pushback you can possibly get a poke in or whatever the case, you know what I mean, if your opponent is sleeping and whatever. So yeah, moving on. Yeah, also I don't recommend using this on block. This is unsafe. It's -9. So if I set him to do this on block, hold on. Oh, the stun is crazy on that. So that's a punish. Okay, so I would only recommend you use this string if you are going to hit confirm your combo. Alright, and sometimes it will work for some reason. Okay, so yeah, just hold on. Yeah, so that's negative. Cool. Moving on. Right, so back 1 2. Okay, let me just check something. Back 2 1. That's what I mean. Okay, so back 2 on its own is 27 recovery frames, which means it's not meant to be a stagger. Alright, but sometimes, goddamn, sometimes I get away with this. Sometimes I just get away with this for some reason. Alright, cool. And it's -7 on the first 2 hits of block stun, and it's 26 recovery on that. So it's not really a good stagger, but in a sense it kind of is, only because it takes 22 frames for the third hit to come out. Alright, for the third hit. So people are gonna expect that long ass delay at the end, and they're gonna be conditioned to wanna block this. Cool. Yeah. I'm glad you're laughing there, Mr. Gundam Fighter. I'm glad you're laughing, because you know it's true. Yeah, so yeah, so basically I'm sorry, I'm just adjusting my PC so I can see the playback. Okay, cool. Right, so back to 1 I think is his best stagger. Not gonna lie, this is his best stagger because of the third hit. Like if you look at back to 1, 10 frames on startup, right? And for about 10 frames for the second hit. So it's 10 frames on startup for that, 10 frames on startup for the second hit, and 22 frames on startup for the third hit. Alright, so that is a really great stagger, which means you can do this. Go for a grab, shimmy, you know, shimmy. If you see he's not budging, whatever the case, boom, that type of thing. Oops. If he's trying to flawless block, go again and then start being annoying, you know, that type of thing. Even this, I tend to get people with this as well. Cool, so let's see, 2 1 2. Now the third hit has a flawless block gap. Okay, right, so there's a flawless block gap on the third hit, which I do not recommend at all. Just give me 1 second, guys. Just give me one second. 1 second. Shit. Alright, cool, let's go. Okay, so the third hit, like I said, there's a flawless block gap. Alright, once again, the same rules apply for the 1-3. Do not finish the string unless you don't have resources. Now what I mean by that is create some space. -1 on forward 3, right? -1, so you can get a poke on that, whatever the case. Right, so don't finish the full string if you know they are trying to flawless block it. So if you do come across an opponent that is trying to flawless this, that is your mind game, right? That is your mind game. So I'm gonna try to flawless block this randomly. 2 slots, one doing the full string and doing the mind game. Okay. Right, now I'm gonna do. Okay. There we go. You see? Alright. So that is the mind game behind it. I'm looking for the flawless block. Yeah, I missed it. See? I missed it again. Alright, so that is very, very useful. Okay? As long as you have resources, you can do something about that. Obviously, you need to hit confirm whether they're getting hit by the string in the first place, right? So now so basically, let me put this on a bow, right? So what this is gonna do is, he's gonna decide when he wants to block, and this is how you test your hit confirms. So down 1. Okay, hold on. Okay, so he was blocking, and I didn't react in time. There we go. Now I get a hit confirm. Okay, again. I'm actually wanting him to block. Ah, shit. Okay, so he's not blocking. Okay, hold on. Random attack? Yeah, down 1. Alright. Alright, no, let's not go random attack. Let's go there. Okay, down 1. Block. There we go, I want him to block. Okay, first down 1. Ugh. Right, so he's blocking, right? Cool. Now let's say, for instance, he's getting used to the fact that you are doing the hydroplane, this move, right? Let's say he's getting used to it, and now he wants to take his turn. Now he wants to take his turn because you are doing what's it, the hydroplane thing. Now he wants to take his turn, right? So I'm gonna set him at the last possible frame. Right? That's the mind game. Da, da, boom. Oops. You see that? You see that? So all of this is mind games. Hydroplane, if you are not using hydroplane, you don't want to win. As a rain player, if you are not using hydroplane, you don't want to win. Basically, you're telling me that you don't want to win if you don't have that move equipped. This move is so freaking good. People will not equip it simply because it takes defensive bar. In a game where there's armor breaking moves, what's the point of not putting this move in your arsenal? Because in a game where you can break away and get armor breaker moves, you know, to waste your bloody defensive bar, you might as well spend the bar, take the risk, you know, take the risk. He's gonna react, you know what I mean, and then turn it into a mind game. You do this, you go in for a grab, or you go in for a shimmy, you know what I mean. But yeah, so let's say now he wants to do the full, right? So that can work, but still, if you know he's gonna try to react, you can let it go, boom, okay, and you might just trade. But as long as he doesn't get a full combo, whatever the case. So if he's gonna try and react, that's what's gonna happen. He will get knocked down, and obviously you have to condition your opponent, right? You have to condition them to block, to not flawless block this string. You get the idea, right? So now, let's now have your opponent conditioned. This. Notice the pushback, and it's -4. Remember when I said when you control space in a game like this, you basically win. And what I mean by that is, if your opponent is trying to take his turn, let's do this again. Sorry. Hold on. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so he's gonna respond with that now. Let's set him to respond with his furthest reaching move. Yeah, okay, so. Oh shit, okay, hold on. Right. Hold on. Do you see that? So what I did, when he blocks this, okay? When he blocks the full string and gives me my space control, I have enough time to backdash and do my back 3 and hit confirm into that. If I see that he is trying to take his turn and come into that spacing, right? So whenever you come across strings, if you are blocking, sorry, not even blocking, if you have strings like this, right, that guarantees you some pushback, you can do something about it. Alright? So one more time. Now this time I'm going to be the one that's gonna try to take my turn. I'm not gonna let the computer try and take his turn. To set I'm gonna set him to do that entire pattern. Hold on. I'll try to take my turn. Alright, hold on. Alright, so as you can see, that will work. The forward 2 will work in time. But what if, you see what I mean? Now I want to dash in so I can try to catch him off guard. But that's the mind game. That's the next mind game. That's next level. Alright, that's like next level. And then you get that when they try to do a forward 2, and then you can wolf punish like that. You see? Nothing he does can really, you know what I mean? I hope you get the idea, guys. So basically, yeah. But obviously in this case I'm using 3, but essentially I would use the back 3. You see what I mean? But if you are unsure about that, I would you do maybe that. See? It stops him in his dash. It stops them from trying to take their turn. Basically. Because of that pushback. You know what I mean? So that can probably work maybe. But if you read this as the rain player, if you read the fact that they are gonna do this, block, da, da, you can get a punish. You get that? Cool. So moving on, shall we? Let's see. Yeah. Did I explain this already? Yes, I think I did. So yeah, because you get this type of pushback, you can bait out the you know, like, so now you get your combo basically. Now you're trying to bait out the you're trying to anticipate them taking their turn, so to say. Oops, I don't know why I did that. Alright. Let's see. Okay, so that won't work, so let's try it. It depends on the matchup, what they're gonna answer with. So it's still a risk, it's still a total guess, that type of thing. But that is some techniques. You can decide to either just block it out or try to bait a wolf punish, you know. Let's see. Yeah, this move obviously I would only recommend if you see them wolf, maybe like let's say for instance he turn like, okay, and then oops, you know what I mean, that type of thing. Cool. And obviously you can like, you can get your your fatal blow. You can combo that. So it combos all together, and that does about 50%, I think. I think approximately 50%. Oh, okay, not so much, 50%. Okay, so 45%. That's guaranteed, and you can that. Okay, so we did the 4-2 down. Oh no, we did this. Okay, and if you're just gonna let this rock, this is neutral, so anybody can take their turn, because on hit advantage it says 0, so that means so that essentially means anybody, it's neutral, anybody can take their turn. And then I would just do this and condition them and go for a grab or whatever the case. Next, now we go to the 3s. I think he only has that. Okay, now let me break this down. So let's say for instance you get this in there, right? You get a combo, right? So now you are plus 13. Okay, and now I'm going to set him to pick up down 1, right? Wait, did he wake up? No, he didn't. Okay, let's just see. There we go. Okay, so you get this ender, and now you're plus 13. He could not take his turn at all because of this. So you're plus 13 at the end of this full string, and then you do your back 3, which is 13 frames. So he cannot press a button at all. Now, let's say if he blocks, right? But obviously, I wouldn't, it's not easily hit confirmable. So if you are still in the middle of round 1, so to say, and if you're in the middle of round 1, and or even if your opponent is still, you know, got a decent amount of health, like a lot still, then I would hit confirm that, you know. So if he ends up blocking, maybe guarantee myself some space, start my zoning, etc, etc, you know what I mean. You know, play the neutral game, zone it out, bait his zoning, and then, you know, I would only do the full string if I don't have resources like this, or get some spacing. You see that spacing? Move away. Maybe he comes in and you can do this and go into your roundhouse kick or standing 3, which is a very good wolf punisher as well. Because I mean, look at the spacing that it controls. It's got nice reach as well as this. So yeah. Let me see something. -7. Okay, cool. So it's not. So it is very safe, basically. Right. So this on block -5. Let's see. Yeah, it's 10. Okay, so it's 10 frames. Standing 3 is 10 frames. Down 1. You get, in a real match, you get a down 1. You can jail this. Okay, I'm gonna set him to. To duck. Okay, I'm jailing. See? Notice how he's ducking after he gets hit. So because I'm plus 13, my 10 frames, so I have a 3 frame gap to make sure that I jail that. Okay. And then it pushes him away. So let's say for instance, he gets hit. Now I'm plus 16 at this distance on hit advantage there at the bottom left, alright? Hit advantage is 16 because I did this, I hit confirm, I made sure that, okay, he got hit by that, right? So now you're plus 16, and the only thing you can do is either this to enforce your pressure and your turn, or what is it? Yeah, so you plus 16, and now you throw your 13 frame zone tool, right? He has 3 frames to do whatever the fuck he think he can do, because he can't really do anything. If he tries to jump, he's going to get hit by it. So let's try to make him jump on wake up. So he confirmed that. Hold on. He confirmed that, and then damn it, I'm so terrible. I'm not pressing it on the frame. Damn it. Okay, that won't work. That's odd. Okay, so there we go. Cool. So basically that essentially that is that's what you can do for the heat confirm of that. Okay, let's see what's next. Let's, for instance, if he tries to block, you will, you know, you guarantee you are safe, you have spacing, and now you control the nuke. You know, that type of thing. Alright, now we get to the 4s, the Bs in this case. Okay, so standing 4, there's -1, okay? So you get it down 1 and you can jail it because you are plus 13, 11 frames of a standing 4. Okay, so that's -1. And then you can come up with a mind game like this. If he tries to maybe get a poke, if he tries to poke after blocking this, you can, hold on, you can punish the poke if he tries to do that. Right? Let's see. Sweep. Alright, we already established what this is. That's a good space control tool, right? And obviously you're down 4. So your down 4 is like plus 15 on hit. So let me just see quickly. Let me see if he's going to, if I can jail it. Okay, that's guaranteed. Okay, so you can jail it if you fast enough. Dash up. See? So you can jail it off your down 4. Right. I think that's it basically. So if you go for like your back grab, you're plus 15. The only thing you can essentially do is that. Try to zone him out. Cool. Let's see. What else? I think that's basically it. Like in terms of guides, like strategy wise, I think that's basically it. But combos, that's basically it. Like you're standing 1-3-3 into your geyser palm, you know, you get this as well, your roundhouse kick, and then, you know, that type of thing. This works as well. Okay, that doesn't work. Come on. Okay, I would end it like this, just to, or you can do this. Plus 13 and wake up mind game. We'll go for a grab if you see them blocking, etc, etc. Let's see what else. Yeah, I think I covered everything, so to say. And then obviously you can end like that for corner carry, because once you get them in the corner, then you know your mind games are limitless. Yeah, go for grab or go for your combo, and then you side switch back into the corner, plus 24, and then you know, that type of thing. Right, I think that is it, to be honest. I think that is honestly it that I can share with you guys based on the tactics and things like that, like, and combos with your, like your down 2 combo, crushing blow combo. Okay, I dropped it there, but okay. Come on. It's kind of hard to land this one. Oh my god, okay. The recovery frames on down 2 and certain streams like this. Okay, that doesn't work. Okay, 40% for the back 3-4 ender, right? So that's a full 40% off your down too. But let me just see if I can do something else. Okay, that's also 40%, but slightly more, just a tad bit more. Okay, so Rain doesn't really have much crushing blows, to be honest. Crushing blows, no, he doesn't have much crushing blows. So it's just this one, and obviously this one. If you hold it long enough, then you can get that. And obviously his crushing blows off his forward throws and back throws. And yeah, that is my total guide on using Rain. Oh, hold up. The August Plunge, this move in the air, it is very good for. Oh, also this has a crushing blow as well. So if it travels at a short distance enough, you get that amount of damage, right? I would say this is it's a very good keep away tool, so to say. So if you are maybe, let's say you're cornered, right? You in the corner, your opponent is pressurizing you, and now you get a down one. You want to get out of there, and boom, just like that, you're out of there. That type of thing, right? Obviously, you have this to make sure that you cannot be zoned out with your evaporate tool. Cannot be zoned out, and they will go through your hits as well. So if I set him to do this, you see. So obviously you can control how long you want to hold that. And also if you find yourself in a situation like maybe you read a jump in, maybe you see him jumping and then you can do that, you know, that type of thing. So yeah, that's why I have these type of mobility is equipped for Rain, basically. Alright, so I think that is basically it, guys. Yeah, I think that's all I can actually give you guys for now that I can think of. So if there are any questions, feel free to leave a comment. I will definitely get back to you as soon as possible. Other than that, thanks so much for tuning into the guide. I highly appreciate it. If you enjoyed it and if you found it very useful, very helpful, please do leave a like on the guide stream. Yeah, I think that's basically it. So I'll catch you guys on the next one. Cool. I think I'm gonna stream some more, but I just want to end this stream just to save it as the guide stream, right? And then I'm gonna start a new stream where I'm just gonna do some online matches, etc, etc. Cool. All right, once again, thanks for tuning in, guys. Catch you on the next guide. Take care.